Alright, I have a very anticipated hive inspection coming up here. Last week, me and Devin switched the two brood boxes because the new box was on the bottom and they weren't moving up. So I'm very curious to see what has changed since then. I'm also not going to be wearing a suit today because it's hot. Very, very hot. And the humidity is absolutely ridiculous. I'll get this going in the meantime. It's tomorrow's Father's Day and I didn't even bother combing my hair when I got out of bed today. How does it look? Not bad considering, huh? Get this going and I'll meet you at the bees. Okay, there's a couple of things I wanted to point out real quick. You can see I got this tin on here, which is that's just extra protection from any rain or whatever. But here's the new sides that me and Devin installed on there, and that makes it fully telescoping lid, so there's no open sides at all. And then the other thing was this shade I got going on back here. When the sun starts getting low in the sky and it gets hot in the afternoon, I got this here to just protect them from the sun a little bit, so they don't have to work so hard trying to keep their hive cool. Yeah, it's farming season. Except everything that guy's hauling is bad for my bees. Get your poison out of here. This will be the first time I'm not wearing my suit. I just hope that this elastic is tight enough that they don't get inside of my face veil, because that's how I'll probably get stung. Not because I'm not wearing a suit, but because they get trapped. And taking no gloves to the extreme today. I'm also excited to see how well this inner cover is working. Oh, that just lifted right off of there. Oh, we're talking. There's definitely less bees still on this top box. I can see them down in there, but we're gonna have to pull out some frames and see what they're all doing in there now. See if I can get you guys in a little bit closer this time. I also notice that the frames definitely slid down to the one side after our last video where I had showed. Okay, this is my first frame. It doesn't look like there's anything in here, but at least this time I'm seeing some bees on the actual drawn comb. I'll give you guys a peek down in there real quick. You can see down into the bottom box is definitely, I don't know, maybe I was a little bit anxious in putting the second box on altogether. I'm really not sure. I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. This is kind of the same situation. I think there's one cell in there that I can see that's got nectar in it. Not seeing any brood at all. I was hoping I could just open this top box up and I'd see eggs or larvae or capped brood or something, but I'm not seeing that at all. And the farther away from the edge we get, the less likely we're gonna see that at all. And they just keep getting more and more empty as we go along. It's about as empty as it gets right there. Okay, well, maybe I jumped the gun on this second box. It looked very full, but what do I know? I'm gonna slide the frames together gently. When you do it by hand, you can push them, you can see the bees and you can push them together as slow as need be. But if you set the boxes on their side, they can slide down really quickly. And we don't want to be mushing our queen or it's game over. Or at least I'd be buying a new queen. Also, I want to mention that I still do not have a single bee sting, because these ladies that I'm working with here are the nicest bees that I've ever seen in my whole life. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You're the best bees in the whole wide world. Okay, look at how full this bottom box is. I mean, you couldn't fit another 2 bees in some of those spots. There's so many. You can hear that? Love it. Love it. That is a ton of pollen, and it all looks to be about the same color this time. And it's surrounded by some nectar. I gotta remember to try to look for the queen. There's a lot of brood. The light brown that you see is brood, and the kind of the yellow is pollen, surrounded by some nectar. And once again, I'm forgetting to look for the queen. Last time she ran right in front of my face and I didn't see her. Look at that! Wow! Whoa, there's pollen falling out of these cells like crazy. However, I did hear today that newer bees are lighter in color than the older bees. Then I also hear sometimes if they have mites on them, it can make them lighter in color as well. I don't know what that means for me right now. Still, oh, you see the curled up white C's in there? It's speckled in there. You've got some cap brood, and then you've got some little white things in there where they are not capped yet. So we have larvae. Same situation on the back side. We've got pollen, we've got cap brood, we've got larvae, we've got nectar. I've got bees all over my hands. I'd love to mark the queen, but you know, you gotta find the queen to mark her in the first place. I can never see the eggs. It drives me crazy. Wait a minute. Oh, I see them. I see them in there. There's eggs like crazy in there. It's just such awful lighting all the time. I don't know if you can see down in there, but they are loaded with single eggs. I gotta tell you, my knees are killing me kneeling on this wooden board. Do not quote me on this because of my newness, but I am pretty sure that eggs only stay in egg form for like 3 days. So that means we've had a queen laying some serious eggs within 3 days. Oh, there she is. There's the queen right there. You see her? Hey lady, you're doing so good. So okay, the queen is on this frame. I'm gonna be extra careful with that one. And I think I'm just gonna call it good. Everything looks good. We have a queen. She's laying eggs. There's pollen, there's brood, there's everything a beehive needs. I am like a boy on Christmas morning. Okay. So you see all that pollen that fell out. I don't know if they're reattaching it or they're just eating it or what. There's some nectar that's built out. And you know, clean that up. I want to try some. There it is. Sorry, I'm sweaty. It tastes kind of green, but fragrant. Like it's got something else in it. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in for the latest inspection. And I am so happy that I've seen the queen and she's in there doing her thing, and I've seen eggs. As far as beekeepers go, I'm as happy as they get now. And I'll probably let them go for a good 2 weeks now, I think. There's no real reason to go in there and look. We got daisies up a storm, but it doesn't seem like the bees are too interested in them. What they're doing is they're zooming across the road to the trees over there, and then over here is 800 acres of wild, and they seem to skim right over the tops of the daisy flowers and then just keep going. They're looking for something else. Maybe they already depleted the nectar and all that on the daisies. I have no idea because they're sure busy. Busy as a bee. Look at them. Thanks, ladies. Well, thanks for tuning on in. I hope you enjoyed that, and I don't know, if you want to keep watching bee videos, let me know, and I'll keep making them. Thanks for tuning in once again. Bye.